distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to join you by this video, the conference on China's relations with the European Union. And first of all, let me thank IGADI for your kind organization of this conference. And also I thank the presence of all the distinguished professors and scholars for the conference. I think that this is a very important topic, but I should have been at Galicia personally for the conference. However, that due to my engagement in Madrid, I could not participate in the conference personally. I'm sorry for that. I think that the topic of relationship between China and the European Union is meaningful and timely, because I think that the Chinese government, the Chinese people pay a great attention to the relations with EU. I would like to elaborate 4 points about China's policies or China's relations with the EU. First, I think that China and the EU are the major two forces in the international arena. And first of all, that both are very important players in the international relations. The first principle between China and the EU should be a peaceful coexistence. That means both sides should respect each other. Both sides also should collaborate and with each other and deal with these international challenges together based on these principles. We take EU as a major international player because EU advocates for peace and development. And this is exactly the direction of the Chinese government as well as the international community. There are a lot of challenges and a lot of, I should say, a lot of conflicts taking place around us. And it takes China and the EU, this kind of international forces, to play a constructive role in dealing with these challenges and to bring peace and development for the global community. Second policy, or that the second point of view from our side, from the Chinese side, is that China and EU should adopt a principle of opening as well as being inclusive. We take EU as a major market, a global market, and it is also a very important economic player in the global development. We pay a lot of attention, and I think all the Chinese companies and the business communities also gives a lot of importance for their market sharing, for their performance, for their investment, as well as trade with EU as well as its members. The EU occupies a major share of the global economy, and China right now is a developing economy. We definitely would like to see EU as a partner, EU as a major partner in the global economy. So we would like to encourage more investment, more trade, as well as interactions among the business communities with the EU. But however, that we don't want to see a very exclusive or a kind of unilateralism in the business-to-business relations with the EU. And thirdly, that my point is that China and the EU should adopt the principle of multilateralism. EU is established based on its understanding and the practice of multilateralism. And for the past decades, EU has demonstrated that multilateralism is a major and a very useful international tool for the community building as well as for the cooperation among different nations, different states. We can benefit from the practice of the EU. We can also benefit from the successful fruits of your community building. And I don't also think that whole global community and the international community can benefit from your practice and from your policies. Right now, EU has been united and also act as a major body of international relations. And finally, I think that China and the EU should adopt the principle of dialogue and consultation. China and Europe are far away from each other, and China and Europe also have a lot of differences from the history, from the systems, from the current realities. I think that this is natural because we developed our own causes through our own histories. However, that we also have a lot of commonalities, and we have the same, for example, value of development, of peace, of democracy, as well as the human rights. We do have differences. How can we deal with these differences? I think that dialogue and consultation can pave the way for a mutual better understanding, for a better collaboration. So I think that as far as the relations between China and the EU are concerned, that the major principles of peaceful coexistence, opening and cooperation, and multilateralism, as well as the dialogue and consultation, should be the backbones of our interaction between us. This conference or this seminar is meaningful for us because we can benefit from your points of views about how can China and the EU have a better relationship. So I would like to also collect and listen to your advice and guidance on how to that China and the EU to shape a better relationship. In the meanwhile, also that China and the EU, how can we better contribute to the peace and the development of the whole world? China's relations with EU has its own values. So this kind of relationship is not attached or it's not controlled by any third party. And of course, our relationship is not against any third party. So I think this is also one of our major features of the relationship. We definitely support the unity, the development, the strategic autonomy of EU, and China definitely would like to be a partner in this cause of the development of EU. I also found that in the conference there are a lot of discussions about China's relation with Spain. I think that relations with Spain right now is in a good shape. 1 month ago, we had this successful visit by the President of Spain, Mr. Sanchez, who had a very good interactions with the Chinese leadership, with the Chinese business community, with the Chinese cultural groups, and he also advocate a more closer economic relations as well as a more closer cultural relations with China. And based on this visit, as well as our mutual policies, I think that the relation between China and Spain could pose an example for the future relations between China and the EU. We would like to see that the development, the economic revival, or the reindustrialization of Spain, as well as other members of the EU. And China definitely would like to make its due contribution for this kind of development, for a better life in Europe, or for a better industry, for a better economy in Europe. Another topic is related to that China's relations with Galicia. I was very happy in this May. I had a very good meeting with the Excellency Mr. Afonso Rueda in Galicia. And I still remember we had a very friendly discussions about China's cooperation with Galicia. At that time, we have finalized 7 areas of collaboration. I think Galicia should be and is a good destination for the interest of the Chinese business community. You have a very complete legal system. You also have a very enthusiastic business community, and you also have a very clear vision for the future development of the region. And I was very impressed by the president that he gave me a very clear briefing about the future plans of the economic and the social development of Galicia. So at that time, I still remember we have finalized these areas of future cooperation. I think first is regarding, for example, for the development of new energy or renewable energy. Galicia is the focus of the wind energy. And I think that a lot of Chinese companies are interested in the renewable energy industry in Galicia. Second is regarding we call the blue economy or the maritime economy of collaboration with Galicia, different departments, or collaboration with the different companies in Galicia, that we would like to see the maritime economy could be a major item or a major area of our bilateral cooperation. Thirdly is regarding the digital industry. There are quite a lot of digital companies in Galicia, and some of them have already started collaboration with the Chinese industries and companies, so that the digital industry could be another areas of that. And finally, of course, we would like to encourage more education, tourism, cultural cooperation with Galicia. There are already a large number of students studying in Galicia now, and a lot of universities have established their collaboration with the different universities in Galicia. And of course, a very rich historical resources have attracted a lot of Chinese tourists coming to Galicia and to spend their time in your region. Very rich cultural heritages exist in Galicia, and this could be a potential area of our collaboration with the region. So I see a very promising future of our bilateral cooperation between Galicia and China. And I have also invited several business delegations and also cultural delegations to come to Galicia to explore our potential cooperations in the future. So through this platform and also through this conference, I also would like to invite your suggestions and your advice. How can we have a further cooperation with Galicia? How can we benefit from your development as well as from your future vision for the region? So I see a lot of potentials and a lot of opportunities of collaboration between China and Galicia, and I definitely will do my best to promote and to enhance this kind of mutual exchanges. Finally, I would like to also present my best wishes to the government, to the people of Galicia, and also I wish a great success of the conference. Thank you.